Excited to be joined from the Washington Wizards. Number 24, Corey Kispert. How's it going, man?
What's up, John? How you doing?
Good, man. Before we get to anything, Ted Lasso season finale, your thoughts?
I thought it was perfect, but I also hate Nate.
Dude, I know.
So, I mean, it's and it's just one of those shows where you turn it off and you sit on your couch like, what do I do now? Like, what do I do with my life now? I gotta wait another 6 months for it to come back on again? Like, what am I supposed to do?
It's one of those shows where I'm sure the actor that plays Nate is the nicest guy, but if I ever saw him at the airport, I'd spill coffee on him and be like, this is what you get.
He's probably, I wouldn't want to be his, like, social media guy managing his accounts or anything, because those DMs are probably nasty. 81
games a year, 82 games a year, 41 road games. Do you plan, like, if you know you have a long road trip, like, okay, I can get, like, knock out 3, 4, or 5 of this series on the road?
Yeah, my Netflix downloads for the plane are long. So I have I have it scheduled out. This day I watch this, before bed I'm watching that, and it's impressive, my download list for sure.
So it's kind of cool. So you drafted last year, Washington kid who gets drafted to Washington D.C. I imagine it's got to be like going from playing for, like, you went to Gonzaga, playing for high school, like having a sense of playing for the community to all of a sudden playing for a franchise in the opposite coast. Do you have to, like, learn to be a fan of the franchise, if that makes sense? Because I mean, it's different. Like, if you go to the school, like, you're there, you're part of it. You went opposite coast. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I wasn't. A lot of DC, a lot of Wizards games aren't broadcasted in Seattle. So, like, you're right. I did have to catch up on what it means to be a part of this franchise. I had to go to a Nationals game, go to a Washington football team game. Like, I had to really kind of immerse myself in that kind of stuff because, being from basically the other end of the country, as far away from as possible, you don't really know much about what's going on around here.
When you walked in the locker room the first time, did you ask which stall was Jordan's, or like roughly where, like, his favorite urinal?
Yeah, no. I don't want to. I mean, that's his urinal, man. I can't touch that yet.
I want to ask because I think pro sports is so interesting, and I know there's a lot of, like, questions, X's and O's. I have more of, like, if you want something from the team store, can you just walk in and grab it?
There's a few more steps than that. I mean, I'm not just walking in and showing my ID and grabbing anything, but they do make it easy on us to get stuff for our family and friends.
Unlimited Gatorade? Like, you just go to the cooler and just grab whatever you want and good to go?
Gatorade and water. Yeah, you're going to stay hydrated around here, that's for sure. Or make sure of that.
How long have you actually been in the district, like, even if it's just like apartment living, how long have you actually been here?
I moved here in the end of September, or middle of September. So however long that's been, 4 months, 5 months. Yeah, it's been great.
So you haven't really had a chance to go out and, I guess, probably see. I mean, I've been here 10 years. I feel like I can't see everything, but have you had a chance to go out and do any of the DC-ish stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I did the mall. I've had a bunch of friends and family visit recently, so I've done. I've walked around the mall. I've done a bunch of museums, Smithsonian stuff. So a good chunk of, like, the kind of basic touristy stuff is off the list.
Corey, it's funny. I was looking up clips of, like, your highlights, and it's with, basketball, it's a little different. Like, hockey, you get your first goal, you keep the puck. Baseball, your first home run, you keep the ball, so on and so forth. What's the milestone in basketball where you get something to put, like, on the mantle?
I think it's like your first game winner.
Okay.
This game winner might be like a game ball type deal. Like, I mean, I for my first NBA bucket, like, got like a couple high fives and pat on the back and like a nicely done. Welcome to the league. But I mean, like, also as a player, you want to act like you've been there before. So, I think your first game winner, you might get the game ball. It's like an unwritten rule.
I know pro athletes always say you tune out the fans, but what's, like, the best trash talk you've ever heard where you go, damn, like, that was from a fan where you're like, dude, I want to give you, like, props. Like, that was pretty good.
I've heard a couple of Jackie Moon comments.
Oh, man.
Jackie Moon a few times. I'm a Will Ferrell fan, so I took that one in stride.
That's the funny thing about that movie is, like, Semi-Pro is, like, classic that doesn't get nearly enough recognition. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, it's I would say it's a very underrated sports movie.
Let me ask a side note: how many COVID tests you taken in the past 2 years, and can you snort a marble if needed to be? At this point,
I've probably taken in the past 2 years. I bet you were around 500.
Damn. I mean, golly, I have to get it twice a week, but that's like, so like, for those who don't know, like, for professional athletes, like a week, you guys are in, I'm gonna say severe protocol, but it's like, not you're in the bubble, but pretty much in the bubble. So what's like the week like?
I mean, you're able to do whatever what anybody else would do, but the difference is like you're getting monitored and tested, every day or every other day. So
sure.
Whether you feel like you have it or you don't, like you're gonna know. So, probably last 2 years, I think 500 is a good number, and I don't think I could snort them. I didn't do. I mean, those few ones that like you scratch your brain a little bit, like those. That's probably 20 or less. So I don't think I have that. That frame opened up yet.
No, the swab, man, it's always like, I'm not going to cry this time. And I always do like, I swear I'm not that big of a wuss.
Yeah,
It's
your eyes are wide. And like,
who kicked me in the shin?
Who's cutting onions?
Absolutely. Talk with Corey Kispert of the Washington Wizards. Man, we appreciate the time. If folks want to find you on socials, where do they look?
Yeah, Instagram, ckiss24, TikTok, Corey_Kispert. And then same for Twitter, Corey_Kispert.
The morning show, huge thanks to Corey Kispert, the Wizards.